Howdy, Space Rangers, Captain Phoenix here. Today we're back with another tier list, and I swear all of you are gonna hate me. At this point in time, I've just become the tier list man. But yeah, so today we're gonna talk about both Star Wars Visions and Marvel's What If series. These are two series I wanted to do a review on, but because of issues, I couldn't do it, and I just didn't have the time to. And at this point in time, I am way past the trend of talking about these two shows. However, both of them did have a lot of potential when they were announced, and I really wanted to talk about them because they were like right up my alley. But I didn't get the chance to. So here's my chance to do it. I'm gonna review each episode from both shows. They both have 9 episodes, so it won't take too long. And I'm just gonna talk about what I think of the shows overall as I finish with their segments. Without further ado, let's begin. So starting with Star Wars Visions, we have the 9 episodes. As you can see, we have my tier list here. It's the same tier list as for What If: Spectacular, Amazing, Great, Good, Meh. I don't know if there's a bad episode here. There's a section for that. But as mentioned, my tier list, my rankings. This is just the list I came up with, and obviously this is just my opinions. Don't get too mad if I put your worst episode at the if I put your favorite episode at the bottom. Ha ha ha. Also, the light isn't great here, so my face isn't too visible, but just forgive me for that. Anyway, Star Wars Visions. We start with episode 9, Akakiri, the last episode. This one seemed to be the one that was setting up a season 2. So, like obviously Disney had to just sequel bait us. As far as liking this episode, I don't know, man. For me, it goes in the mess section, and I don't know why it's not going there. But anyway, as I wait for the thing to load in, yeah, this one is definitely weakest from the series. It's got okay animation, not the best. I know it was probably made by like an indie company. It didn't have a lot of time to animate it, but like it's not the best as far as I'm concerned. And I know this one was a blend of both Japanese and African animators, so I should try to give it more respect. But like I don't know, from an animation standpoint, it's not the best. I'm not a huge fan of the design is okay. It's not the best. I definitely would like to see a follow up, but as it stands, this episode was very okay. This is definitely the weakest of the night for me. So we've gotten rid of the weakest, and just as so, we're also getting rid of the best at the same time. Lop and Ocho. Yeah, this is the one that's considered by many to be the furry episode. I have no idea. Because the main character is a rabbit alien. I don't know. But yeah, this one, strangely enough, best episode of the show. This one truly did feel like Star Wars, or at least Star Wars Visions, like with the whole um past of the Jedi. Like we get to learn about the Jedi, and now we get to see the sister relationship. One sister's evil, one sister's good. So at the end, this one was a very self-contained episode. Again, it also ends with sort of open-ended, where like yeah, we could get a follow-up if we wanted to, but as of here, I was fine with this. This is a very self-contained story. I enjoyed it a lot. So you got rid of the best, we got rid of the worst, I would say. So the rest of the list is unpredictable. Then we have Toby. This one is a very middle episode for me. I would say it's great. I would say the animation is nice. Very, very easy on the eyes. I don't know. It's a very cute animated story. Speaking of which, even though it is cute, I do love the design of the Inquisitor. That is good. I like that. The way he's like made out to be this scary monster creature thing, and like especially without like the whole world is this whole wholesome light, lovey-dovey world, and then we just get this monster Inquisitor who like killed the Jedi father, and now Toby has to become a new Jedi. He gets like his arm ripped off. It was a good episode. It was a really good episode. And like we have a robot Jedi. I don't think we've seen that before, or a droid Jedi. I don't think we've seen that before. So it's a really good idea. And honestly, I could see it becoming canon. Like this really could be a canon episode. Law Pinocho, not so much, but it is a very well self-contained story. Then we have Tatooine Rhapsody. This one is also a canon episode. I really do think like if they wanted to make any of these episodes canon, this is definitely one that could be like that. This one is also set. It's like set in the Clone Wars period. It's got the chibi animation style where everyone looks small, even if they're like all adults. That's a bit weird, but I would put it, yeah, with Toby, either in the great or in the good. I think it can sit in the good for now. It's not the best, definitely seen better. Uh, I don't know why, but the scene where like he turns his lightsaber into a microphone, both was okay with me, but at the same time it annoyed me. I don't know about this episode. Again, it could be canon. I very much see this happening in the Star Wars universe. I think, yeah, it's a great episode. I don't have too many issues with it. The music's pretty good, at least in the last part. And then we have like this guy who's like Jabba's relative. That was funny. So, yeah. Next, we have the duel, first episode. This one was amazing, I would say. I like the whole black and white aesthetic of it. I like the ranger dude, there's this guy who's just like walking around. And turns out he's not even like a Jedi, he's like a Sith hunter. So very interesting way to start off. And then I'm like, again, he's like that cowboy story where we always have like the shootout in the village. This one is a lot like that, where instead of a shootout, it's a straight up lightsaber duel between a Sith hunter and a Sith. No Jedi in this episode. Again, really interesting. Also, again, like the black and white aesthetic, and also like how it's done by Japanese. Because if you didn't know, Star Wars was actually originally based off the Japanese stories, which the cowboy stories were based off of. Like the whole Japanese samurai stories where like they meet each other in like a windy area and they fight. Yeah, the cowboy Wild West stories were based off of that, and Star Wars was based off those Japanese stories. And now it's just funny to see it come back full circle when Japanese animators get to make a sort of Wild West story on Star Wars. So it's pretty cool. Then we have The Elder. This episode to me was very overrated. I saw a lot of people gushing about this episode, and I'm like, yeah, I could see it. It could definitely be canon if it wanted to. It very much just reminds me of Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan, and it still baffles me up to this day why they did not just make the two Jedi in the episode Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan. It would have been a very simple fix. But yeah, this was a very overrated episode. I didn't enjoy it too much. The animation was too slow. I felt like it was too slow paced. Even the action, when they finally got to the action, wasn't as exciting as it could have been. So I'll just say it was pretty meh. No, it was pretty good, I guess. I mean, yeah, it was like bottom good, top meh is what I would say. The Ninth Jedi. This one goes into the amazing category as well. It is tricky where I would place it, like compared to the Duel. I think just because it's got like the better animation or at least a bit more color in it, it's a better episode, and it actually has a bigger story. Like this one is also definitely one story that's a bit more like sequel baity, where it's like also hinting like it could be a bigger story. And I would really like to see more from this. Whereas the Duel is like its own self-contained story. The Ninth Jedi is a story where like I definitely would like to see more of it. I just wish we got a bit more. I just wish all the characters got a bit more something to do. But I do love the twist at the end. Honestly, the twist at the end might be the thing that just saves this episode and makes it a bit better than the duel. That twist was really good. I just wish that guy did a bit more. But it's a good episode. I definitely would like to see more of it. However, since this is an anthology series, highly doubt that's going to be the case. Then we have the twins. This one is also a spectacular episode, only rivaling Lop and Ocho. I like this episode. Good animation, amazing action, and I just love how it just goes bonkers. Like this is anime Star Wars at its best. This is what I would expect when you take anime and Star Wars, and this episode delivered it perfectly. I love the brother sister fight. I love how the sister is just like an overrated anime villain. Like she's like, yes, give me the power of the kyber crystal. I feel so good. We obviously the lightsaber battle was amazing, and again, I just love the whole twin sun thing at the end. I really can't hate this episode. It's so amazing. I would I honestly it's still a challenge. Like where I would put it between this and Lodge and Opal. Really, the only problem I'd have with the twins is maybe the dialogue was a bit too corny, but otherwise it was good. I really like it. This is definitely the most anime thing I've seen from Star Wars. Then we have The Village Bride. This one is also in the same vein as The Elder. Not that has happened is like towards the end of the episode. Again, not too much interesting stuff. The animation is definitely better than The Village Elder. I'll give it that. Sorry, than The Elder. However, again, for like 90% of the episode, really nothing happens. And it's also the most un-Star Wars episode. Whereas every episode could be said to be tied to Star Wars in one shape or the other, The Village Bride is the most un-Star Wars thing I've ever seen. You could put this in literally any other show and it would barely change. Just remove the lightsaber and like the droids, that would be it. Like nothing would change. So the only reason I would put it below The Village Elder, I mean, the Elder is because that it doesn't feel Star Wars. Whereas like Lop and Ocho and the twins felt a lot like Star Wars, and even the duel, the Village Bride just didn't feel Star Wars. It was a good story, I would say. It just did not have the Star Wars spirit in it. So anyway, yeah, that's my list. I don't know why my screen is lagging. And now it's gone white. Amazing. Can I drag this now? Can I drag this? I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. So yeah, that's what I would rank the Star Wars. Lodge and Oppo in first place, the twins in second, in amazing with the Ninth Jedi, Toby, Tatooine Rhapsody, the Elder, the Village Bride, and lastly Akiri. Who would have thought the last episode would also be the least favorite? But yeah. Anyway, so now that we're done, into what if. Sorry, before we go on, let me just give my quick thoughts on this series. This is a really good series. I really like the potential it has. I honestly wish we could get season two, and I really hope that's the case, that Disney doesn't just cancel this one off thing. There are really a lot of talented animators in this show, and as much as I say I prefer one animation style over the other, or every single person here is talented. And honestly, Disney should really just get into league with Japan studios just so we get more things like this. So here's to hoping for season two, hoping for more episodes and just more scenarios of what in, because I feel like we're just scratching the surface. So overall, I would give the series about a good 8 out of 10. Really, it's a really good 8 out of 10. Moving on now to What If. Finally, here we are with What If, as mentioned, 9 episodes as well, and this deals with how different scenarios could play out if the MCU took a different turn. So they just basically take a scenario from the MCU and they create an episode based on that. Some of these scenarios are so big that I honestly could see them being like their own movie. And I really like What If. I like it as a better show compared to Visions, and I really like the potential here. I like how there's so many things that could happen, and just we don't know what's going on. I really hope that season two also delves into the comics a bit, because I know season one was like really dependent on the MCU, or at least it was really loyal to it. So I really hope season two could also delve into some of the what ifs from the comics. Like there's a comic where like Tony Stark fought King Arthur, or Iron Man fought King Arthur, and that's an episode I really want to see. So yeah, without further ado, let's begin the list. Before I also begin, I just want to go on a small side tangent and talk about What If. I really like the fact that it came out after Loki, basically showing that once Loki created the multiverse, or like the multiple timelines, What If is a result of that. What If is a creation of the timelines. And who knows, maybe in future Loki seasons or in future MCU shows and movies, we could get a tie-in with What If. Because I do know What If is canon, or at the very least, it's very much canon to the MCU. And just the fact that Loki ended up being the thing that created What If, that was perfect. I even had like a video essay talking about the importance of What If, but again, the trend died out, and it's just a botch script. Maybe I'll make a botch script video on it if I have the time, but as of now, no. So we have episode 9. What if? Oh, by the way, there was also supposed to be like a 10th episode with like Gamora and Tony Stark, but obviously because that episode did not exist and it got pushed to season two, we obviously can't review it yet. But I just found it weird that they would release the season without that episode. Like, how do you have the finale before the episode? Anyway, so we have number 9. What if the Watcher broke his oath? This is single-handedly the best episode to me. This is essentially like the end game episode of this show, where like all episodes come together, all the characters come together to fight off a big threat. I found this episode really good, really entertaining. Loved the ending, and again, this thing made me so hyped for season 2. I know a lot of people don't like it and they find it a bit iffy and they're like, oh, it's just the traditional Marvel formula. But hey, I like what I like. And I like big superhero team up like boss battles. Next, we have What If Doctor Strange lost his heart instead of his hands? Weirdly enough, this episode was like really overhyped. And to an extent, I can understand why people hype it up. It's not the best What If episode. I disagree with a lot of people on that front. It really isn't the best What If episode. However, it is a really good one. I love the dark tone of the episode. I love the ending. And again, it's just, this is basically What If in its most purest form. Everything else is like okay, but this is really what If can do, taken to like 11, the next is extreme. And I really hope season 2 adopts more of this. So it's not the best episode from the series, but it's a very good example of what this show should follow. Next is What If the Earth, or What If the World Lost Its Mightiest Heroes? This is also a really good episode. I only place this on top of What If just because it has the same dark undertones and dark depths as Doctor Strange, only that it takes it even further by killing all of the Avengers and the heroes barely making it out alive. So I really like that. I also really like how it also had a bad ending as well. Just insanity. Yeah, this show is really good. Then next is What If T'Challa became Star Lord? This episode was good. It's nothing special. It was just good. It was a funny episode that I had a lot of fun with. I loved all the Easter eggs, and just Thanos being a good guy is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. And strangely enough, I want more. So it's nothing spectacular, but it's good for what it is. Next, we have what if Captain Carter became the first Avenger? This is honestly, arguably the most, not the weakest episode. I'd probably say it's also kind of a bad episode, but it's very weak. It's just of Captain America, the first Avenger, except with a woman in the seat, and it does not hold back from the whole "oh my gosh, girl power" thing. I don't enjoy this episode. It's very bland, and it's very up thing is about. It doesn't do what if, and there's a lot of missed potential with this episode. Again, they are hinting to maybe there's more specific. I could go without it. Next, we have What If Killmonger Rescued Tony Stark? This was a great episode. Again, this episode could be its own movie if it wanted to. A lot of respect to it. I don't. The only problem I have with it is I wish it was long. Like the whole episode is about like Killmonger's plan and like how it's finally coming to fruition, but we don't even see the payoff. And even by the time we do get like back to Killmonger, the only and then by the time I get into contact with him, he's just like putting a little mini too much. So we don't really get. I wish we got that tie-in, that conclusion to. It's just a great episode. Hello, screen. Why are you freezing on me? Gosh, I hate when. Oh, that's why it's doing this. We have no Wi-Fi. Huh? Yeah. Dang it, my Zoom. You can talk now. Well, that's a die. Great. And I get the worst possible outcome for it. Not only is it incomplete, but power cuts out and my computer is about to die.
Hey everybody, so today is a pretty huge milestone celebration for Minecraft on YouTube. So it's great that in order to commemorate that, you get this video, which is not going to be very high production value or well edited, because the time kind of snuck up on me. Didn't recall until today that today was the release for the Minecraft 1 billion view celebration. Months or so since they started working on this project. But it's crazy that it's bigger than ever now. 11 years after the game really started on YouTube, and I'm happy a little bit of part of that. So I should mention that I for the music video that they released